Hello everyone. Welcome back to MindPop English. I am Jennifer, your host for today. If you are new here, I would like to tell you that we upload a new English learning video every day on our channel to help you improve your English faster. In today's episode, you will not only improve your English listening skills, but also your speaking skills. In this lesson, we're diving into one of the most exciting topics for every learner: how you can speak English like a native speaker. We will explore the rhythm, the flow, and the natural expressions that make English sound smooth and confident. Whether you're having a casual chat, expressing your ideas, or joining a professional conversation, speaking like a native is a goal many learners dream about. By the end of this video, you'll discover techniques, practice methods, and real-life examples that will help you sound more natural and fluent when you speak. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon if you want more helpful English learning episodes like this. So relax, get ready to practice with me, and let's begin our journey to speaking English like a native speaker. Let's begin with greetings, because greetings are the first words we use every day. Many learners always say, "Hello, how are you? I am fine. Thank you." That is correct, but it does not sound natural in daily life. Native speakers usually say something shorter and easier. For example, "Hey, how's it going? What's up? How you doing?" Now, let's practice together. Repeat after me slowly. "Hey, how's it going?" Good. Now say it again a little faster. "How's it going?" Excellent. Do you notice how smooth it feels? Try another one. "What's up?" Say it again. "What's up?" Perfect. These are the real greetings you hear in daily conversation. Next, let's talk about connected speech. Native speakers don't pronounce every single word very slowly. Instead, they connect words together. For example, "How is it going?" becomes "How's it going?" The word is almost disappears. Another example, "What are you doing?" becomes "What you doing?" This connection makes English sound fast and natural. Let's practice. Repeat after me. "What are you doing?" Now faster. "What you doing?" Great. Connected speech is not being lazy. It is actually about efficiency and rhythm. It saves time and makes speaking smoother. When you start using connected speech, you will feel that your English starts to flow, just like music. Another important habit is using contractions. Contractions are short forms, like I'm, you're, she's, we're, they're. For example, instead of "I am happy," natives say "I'm happy." Instead of "She is my friend," they say "She's my friend." Instead of "They are ready," they say "They're ready." Let's practice together. Repeat after me. "I'm happy." Good. "She's late." Nice. "We're ready." Excellent. "They're coming." Perfect. Now let's put contractions into a short dialogue. Listen carefully. I'm hungry. B. Really? I'm not. She's cooking dinner. B. We're going to eat soon. Did you hear how natural it sounds? This is the way native speakers really talk every day. Next, let's talk about intonation. Intonation means how your voice rises and falls when you speak. For example, when you ask a yes or no question, your voice goes up at the end. "Are you ready?" Let's try it. Say, "Are you ready?" Good. Now compare it with a statement. "I am ready." Your voice goes down at the end. Did you notice the difference? Intonation is like music. It tells the listener if you are asking a question, making a statement, or showing surprise. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Do you like pizza? Voice goes up. Good. Now, I like pizza. Voice goes down. Excellent. With correct intonation, your English becomes easier to understand and more expressive. Now let's practice natural responses. Many learners always answer with, I am fine. Thank you. But in real life, native speakers use shorter, casual answers. For example, I'm good. Thanks. How about you? Or, I'm okay. What about you? Let's try it now. I will ask, how are you? You answer, I'm good. Thanks. How about you? Ready. How are you? Good. One more time. More natural. I'm good. Thanks. How about you? Perfect. Now, another key to natural conversation is filler words. Filler words are small words, like well, you know, actually, like. These words give you time to think and make your speech sound relaxed. For example, instead of just saying, I don't know, a native speaker might say, well, I don't really know, you know, or actually, I'm not sure. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Well, I think so. Actually, I don't know. You know, it's kind of difficult, like, it's amazing. Good. Remember, don't use them too much, but a little makes you sound natural. Another very powerful technique is shadowing. Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and repeating what they say at the same time, like an echo. This helps your mouth and ear work together. For example, I will say, what are you doing later? Now you repeat immediately. What are you doing later? Good. Now faster. Like me. What you doing later? Excellent. Shadowing is one of the best ways to train your pronunciation and rhythm. Finally, before we finish part 1, let's practice reductions. Reductions are short forms that natives use in fast speech. For example, going to becomes gonna, want to becomes wanna, give me becomes gimme. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I'm gonna watch a movie. Good. Do you want to come with me? Excellent. Can you give me a hand? Perfect. These reductions are very common, and they will make your English sound smoother. Now, let's put everything together in a short conversation. Listen first. Hey, what you doing tonight? B. I'm gonna grab dinner with Sarah. Oh really? I wanna come too. B. Sure. Give me a call later. Doesn't that sound natural? This is how people really talk. So, remember the key points from part 1. Greetings, connected speech, contractions, intonation, natural responses, filler words, shadowing, and reductions. Practice them again and again. Don't worry about mistakes. The goal is not perfection. The goal is to sound natural, confident, and relaxed. Step by step, your English will start to flow, just like a native speaker's. Great job on completing part 1. You already practiced greetings, connected speech, contractions, intonation, filler words, and reductions. These are powerful tools. Now, in part 2, we are going to go even deeper. We will practice stress, short answers, natural reactions, phrasal verbs, and small talk. By the end of this section, your English will sound even smoother. Let's start with stress in English words. English is a stress-timed language. That means some syllables are strong and others are soft. If you stress the wrong syllable, your English can sound strange, even if the letters are correct. For example, the word banana. The stress is on the second syllable. But-na-na, not ba-na-na. Another example, the word photograph. The stress is on the first syllable, photograph. But in the word photographer, the stress moves, fotografier. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Banana, photograph. Fotografier. Great. Stress also changes meaning in some words. For example, record is a noun. I bought a new record, but record as a verb. I want to record a song. Let's try. Repeat. I bought a new record. Now, I want to record a song. Excellent. Paying attention to stress makes your English sound much more natural. Now, let's practice short, quick answers. Native speakers don't always give long, full textbook answers. They often use simple, natural responses that keep the conversation flowing. For example, if someone asks, "Do you want to watch a movie tonight?" you could just say, "Sure, sounds good." If they ask, "Are you ready to go?" you can answer, "Almost, just a sec." If they ask, "Do you like this song?" you can say, "Yeah, it's pretty good." These short answers are powerful because they are real. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Sure, sounds good. Almost, just a sec. Yeah, it's pretty good. Excellent. Next, let's work on natural reactions. Native speakers often show emotions with very short words. For example, really, wow, oh no, that's great, that's too bad, amazing. These little reactions make your conversation alive. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Really, wow, oh no, that's great, that's too bad, amazing, good. Now let's try a mini dialogue. I will say something, and you give a natural reaction. Ready? I say, "I just got a new job." You say, "That's great." Next, "I lost my wallet yesterday." You say, "Oh no, that's too bad." One more, "I watched a hilarious movie last night." You say, "Wow, really? That sounds fun." Perfect. Now, let's talk about phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs are very common in native English. Instead of long, formal words, native speakers use short phrasal verbs. For example, instead of meet by accident, we say run into. Instead of relax with friends, we say hang out. Instead of discover, we say find out. Instead of collect, we say pick up. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I ran into my friend yesterday. Let's hang out this weekend. I need to find out the answer. Can you pick me up at 7? Excellent. Now let's put phrasal verbs into a short conversation. Listen carefully. Hey, can you pick me up later? B. Sure. What time? Let's hang out after dinner. B. Sounds good. By the way, I ran into Sarah today. Oh really? What did you find out? See how natural it sounds? That is exactly how people talk every day. Next, let's practice small talk. Small talk is short, casual conversation. It may feel small, but it is important for building connections. For example, a native speaker might say, "It's really hot today, isn't it?" Or, "Did you catch the game last night?" Let's try a simple role play. I'll start. "Hi, how's your day going?" You answer, "Pretty good, thanks. How about you?" "Good." Now I say, "Not bad, just busy with work." And you reply, "Yeah, I know the feeling." Excellent. Another useful tool is tag questions. Tag questions make your English sound soft and friendly. A tag question is when you make a statement and then add a small question at the end, like "Isn't it?" or "Don't you?" For example, "It's a nice day, isn't it?" "You like pizza, don't you?" Let's practice. Repeat after me. "It's cold today, isn't it?" "You're tired, aren't you?" She's your friend, isn't she? They're coming, aren't they? Excellent. Using tag questions makes your English more interactive. Now, let's move into polite expressions. Instead of saying, "Give me that," which sounds too direct, natives say, "Could you pass me that?" or "Would you mind helping me?" These polite forms make your English soft and friendly. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Could you help me with this? Would you mind opening the window? Can you pass me the salt? Could I borrow your pen? Great. Now let's try a role play. I'll be your friend at dinner. Ready? I say, "Hey, can you pass me the bread?" You answer, "Sure. Here you go." Now I say, "Do you want some more water?" You answer, "Yes, please. Thanks a lot." Perfect. That's natural daily conversation. Another important feature of native speech is using linking words. Linking words connect ideas smoothly. Words like so, actually, by the way, and anyway. For example, instead of changing topics suddenly, you might say, "By the way, did you hear about the new restaurant?" Or, "Anyway, let's get back to work. Let's practice. Repeat after me. So, what do you think?" Actually, I agree with you. By the way, I saw Sarah yesterday. Anyway, let's continue. Good. Now let's do a short shadowing practice with linking words. Listen first. Hey, do you want to go out later? B. Well, I already have plans, but maybe tomorrow. Okay. Sounds good. By the way, did you finish the report? B. Actually, I did. I'll send it tonight. Now, shadow it with me line by line. Excellent. Before we finish part 2, let's put everything together into one longer practice. Repeat after me. So yesterday, I ran into an old friend downtown. We decided to grab a coffee, and we hung out for about an hour. By the way, I found out she's moving back to the city. Actually, I'm so happy because now we can hang out more often. Isn't that great? See, this little story has phrasal verbs, linking words, tag questions, and natural flow. That's exactly how native speakers talk. So, in part 2, you practiced stress, short answers, natural reactions, phrasal verbs, small talk, tag questions, politeness, and linking words. Keep repeating them until they feel automatic. The more you use them, the more your English will sound real and alive. Remember, fluency is not about long, perfect sentences. It's about simple, natural, connected speech. Welcome back. You are doing an amazing job so far. In part 1, we practiced greetings, contractions, connected speech, and reductions. In part 2, we learned stress, short answers, natural reactions, phrasal verbs, and tag questions. Now, in part 3, we are going to level up with storytelling, idioms, emphasis, rhythm, and shadowing practice. These skills will help you sound more authentic and more confident when speaking. Let's begin with storytelling. Storytelling is one of the most common ways native speakers communicate. They love to tell small stories about their day, their weekend, or something funny that happened. When they tell stories, they don't always use perfect grammar. Instead, they focus on rhythm, emotions, and keeping the listener interested. Here's an example. Listen carefully. So, yesterday, I was on the bus, and this little kid started singing really loudly. Everyone looked at him, but he just kept singing like he was on stage. It was hilarious, and it made my whole day. Now, repeat after me, line by line. So, yesterday, I was on the bus, and this little kid started singing really loudly. Everyone looked at him, but he just kept singing like he was on stage. It was hilarious, and it made my whole day great. Do you see how simple it is? You don't need complicated grammar to tell a story. Just use short sentences, emotions, and details. Now, let's move to idioms. Idioms are short expressions that native speakers use all the time. They make your English colorful and fun. For example, instead of saying I am very tired, a native might say, I'm beat. Instead of it's easy, they say, it's a piece of cake. Instead of I don't understand, they say, I don't get it. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. I'm beat. It's a piece of cake. I don't get it. I'm all ears. Break a leg. Excellent. Now, let's put idioms into sentences. I studied all night. I'm beat. This homework is a piece of cake. Sorry, I don't get it. Can you explain again? I'm all ears. Tell me your idea. You have a test tomorrow. Break a leg. See how fun and natural it sounds. Idioms are everywhere in daily English. Next, let's talk about emphasis. Emphasis means making some words stronger to show emotion or importance. For example, instead of saying I am tired, you can say I am so tired. Instead of it's hot today, say it's really hot today. Instead of that movie was funny, say that movie was super funny. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I'm so hungry. It's really cold. That movie was super funny. I'm so excited. Excellent. Now let's put emphasis into a short dialogue. Listen. A. Are you hungry? B. Yeah. I'm so hungry. I could eat anything. I. Did you like the movie? B. Yeah. It was super funny. I really enjoyed it. Perfect. Emphasis gives life to your English. Now, let's practice rhythm. Rhythm is like the music of English. Native speakers don't give equal time to every word. Some words are stressed and others are weak. For example, listen. I want to go to the store. The strong words are want and store. The small words, to and the are soft and quick. Let's try it. Repeat after me. I want to go to the store. Good. Another one. She needs to finish the report. Stress needs and report. The other words are soft. Excellent. Now, let's practice rhythm with a longer sentence. Repeat after me. Tomorrow, I'm going to meet my friend for lunch, and then I need to get some work done. Stress tomorrow. Meet, friend. Lunch, work. The rest should be lighter and faster. Great job. Next, let's do a shadowing practice. Shadowing means repeating exactly what I say, at the same time, like an echo. Ready? Listen first. Hey, how was your weekend? It was great. I went hiking. Really? That sounds fun. Yeah, it was a piece of cake. Now shadow it with me, line by line. Hey, how was your weekend? It was great. I went hiking. Really? That sounds fun. Yeah, it was a piece of cake. Excellent. Did you hear how the idiom fits naturally in the story? Shadowing dialogues like this will train your ear and mouth to copy native rhythm and style. Another important skill is giving extended answers. Many learners give short answers, like it was good, but natives usually add one or two more details. For example, how was your day? A learner might say, it was good, but a native speaker might say, it was good. I was busy with work, but I'm glad to be home now. Let's practice extended answers. Repeat after me. It was nice. I spent time with my family. It was busy, but I got a lot done. Pretty good. I just relaxed most of the day. Excellent. Adding small details makes your English sound real. Now, let's practice small talk again, but with rhythm and idioms. Listen. Uh, hey, what's up? B, not much, just got here. Oh, cool? Did you eat yet? B, not yet. Wanna grab something? A, sure, let's go. I'm starving. See how quick and natural it is. Short sentences, reductions, idioms, and rhythm all together. Before we finish part 3, let's do a longer fluency exercise. I will say a paragraph, and you repeat after me smoothly. Ready? So, yesterday I ran into an old friend downtown. We hadn't seen each other in years, so we decided to grab a coffee. We hung out for about an hour, just catching up on life. Honestly, I was so glad because it was really fun. And I found out she's moving back to the city. Now, repeat it again, smoothly, without stopping. Excellent. This exercise combines storytelling, phrasal verbs, idioms, emphasis, and rhythm all in one. So, in part 3, you practiced storytelling, idioms, emphasis, rhythm, shadowing, and extended answers. These are the tools that make English feel alive and natural. Keep practicing with short stories, idioms, and dialogues until they flow automatically. Remember, fluency is not about speaking perfectly. It is about sounding natural, confident, and expressive. Step by step, you are getting closer to sounding like a native speaker. Welcome back again. You are doing great. In part 1, you learned greetings, contractions, and connected speech. In part 2, you practiced stress, short answers, phrasal verbs, and tag questions. In part 3, you worked on storytelling, idioms, emphasis, and rhythm. Now in part 4, we are going to focus on confidence, paraphrasing, natural pauses, contrastive stress, and more small talk. These skills are not only about speaking correctly, but about sounding comfortable, relaxed, and confident. Let's start with confidence. Many learners know enough vocabulary and grammar, but they hesitate. They pause too long, or they second-guess their words. This hesitation makes the conversation sound less natural. Native speakers, even when they make mistakes, keep speaking. They don't stop. That is why confidence is just as important as grammar or pronunciation. So, what can you do if you forget a word? The answer is paraphrasing. Paraphrasing means explaining an idea with other words. For example, imagine you forget the word umbrella. Instead of stopping, you can say, "That thing you use when it rains." The listener will understand immediately. Let's practice. If you forget the word calculator, you could say, "It's the small machine we use to add numbers." If you forget the word fridge, you could say, "It's the cold box in the kitchen where we keep food." Perfect. Paraphrasing keeps the conversation alive. Now, let's talk about natural pauses. Native speakers don't rush every sentence. They pause naturally to emphasize or to give the listener time. For example, "I wanted to tell you that I finally got the job." Did you hear the pause? It makes the sentence more interesting and clear. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. "I wanted to tell you that I finally got the job." Excellent. Adding natural pauses will make your English sound smoother. Next, let's practice contrastive stress. Stressing different words can change the meaning of the sentence. For example, "I didn't say he stole the money." Maybe someone else said it. "I didn't say he stole the money." Maybe he borrowed it, not stole it. "I didn't say he stole the money." Maybe he stole something else. See how the meaning changes. Let's practice. Repeat after me. "I never said she was wrong." Now stress different words. "I never said she was wrong." "I never said she was wrong." "I never said she was wrong." Did you feel the difference? This is a powerful tool that native speakers use all the time. Now, let's go back to small talk. Small talk is short, casual conversation about simple topics like weather, daily plans, or hobbies. It is important because it helps you connect with people. Let's practice a short role play. I'll start. Hi, how's your day going? You answer. Pretty good, thanks. How about you? Good. Now I say, not bad, just busy with work. You reply, yeah, I know the feeling. Excellent. That's a natural small talk exchange. Another way natives keep small talk interesting is by asking follow-up questions. For example, I went to the beach yesterday. B. Oh, nice. Which beach did you go to? I went to Miami Beach. B. Cool. Did you swim? See how the conversation continues. It's not just one question and one answer. It's a flow. Let's practice. I'll say, I watched a movie last night. You ask, which movie did you watch? Great. I say, I watched Avatar. You ask, oh nice. Did you like it? Perfect. That's how you keep conversations alive. Now, let's practice more natural reactions. Native speakers often use short phrases to show they are listening. For example, yeah, right, exactly, for sure, no way. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Yay, right, exactly, for sure, no way. Excellent. These small reactions show that you are engaged and make your English sound authentic. Another important skill is using linking words in small talk. For example, by the way, anyway, actually, so. These words connect topics. Let's try. Repeat after me. By the way, did you see the news? Anyway, let's get back to work. Actually, I think that's a good idea. So, what are you doing this weekend? Excellent. Linking words give your speech a smooth flow. Now let's do a shadowing practice with small talk, reactions, and linking words. Listen first. Hey, do you want to grab lunch later? B. Actually, I already have plans, but maybe tomorrow. Okay, sounds good. By the way, did you finish the project? B. Yeah, I did. I'll send it tonight. Now, repeat it with me, line by line. Excellent. Next, let's practice polite disagreement. Native speakers rarely say just no. They often soften it. For example, no, not really. I don't think so. I'm not sure about that. Let's practice. Repeat after me. No, not really. I don't think so. I'm not sure about that. Maybe, but I'm not convinced. Excellent. These phrases make your English sound polite and natural. Now, let's combine everything we practiced today into a longer fluency exercise. Repeat after me. So, today was pretty busy. I had a lot of work, but I finally finished everything. Actually, I'm really glad because now I can relax. By the way, I ran into an old friend at lunch. We talked for a while, and it was nice to catch up. I didn't say yes to his invitation, but maybe I'll join him next time. Excellent! This short story used linking words, natural pauses, contrastive stress, paraphrasing, and small talk style. So, in part 4, you practice confidence, paraphrasing, natural pauses, contrastive stress, small talk, reactions, and polite disagreement. These skills are not just about words, but about sounding more human, more real, and more natural in conversations. Remember, fluency is not about saying everything perfectly. It is about keeping the conversation alive, expressing your ideas, and connecting with people. The more you practice these small habits, the more natural your English will become. Step by step, you are sounding more like a native speaker. Welcome back. You've already done an amazing job practicing greetings, contractions, stress, idioms, paraphrasing, and small talk in the earlier parts. Now in part 5, we are going to focus on one of the most important skills in conversation: asking questions, clarifying meaning, and responding like a real native speaker. We will also practice active listening, storytelling, and speaking in longer turns. Let's start with asking questions. Many learners can answer questions, but they struggle to ask them. But asking questions is key to keeping conversations alive. Native speakers use many different types of questions. Here are some examples. Simple yes/no questions. Do you like pizza? Are you tired? What questions? What are you doing? Where do you live? Why are you late? Follow-up questions. Really? What happened? Oh, nice. Who did you go with? Opinion questions. What do you think? How do you feel about that? Let's practice together. Repeat after me. Do you like pizza? Where do you live? Who's your favorite actor? What do you think about this movie? Great. These questions are simple, but they keep conversations alive. Now, let's practice clarifying. Sometimes you don't understand someone, and that's okay. Instead of staying silent, you can ask for clarification. For example, sorry, could you say that again? Do you mean, sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you explain a little more? Let's practice. Repeat after me. Sorry, could you say that again? Do you mean the restaurant near the park? I didn't catch that. Could you repeat? Can you explain a little more? Excellent. These simple clarifications make conversations smoother and show you are listening. Now, let's talk about active listening. Active listening means showing the speaker that you are paying attention. You can do this with short words. Right. Exactly. I see. Got it. That's interesting. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Right. Exactly. I see. Got it. That's interesting. Perfect. Active listening makes the other person feel comfortable, and it gives you time to think about your next answer. Next, let's move on to storytelling practice. Storytelling is one of the best ways to practice longer sentences. Here's a short story. Listen first. So, last weekend, I went to the park with some friends. We played soccer, and then we had a picnic. It was really fun, and I was so tired after. Now, repeat after me, line by line. So, last weekend, I went to the park with some friends. We played soccer, and then we had a picnic. It was really fun, and I was so tired after. Excellent. This is how you build longer answers and keep people interested. Let's try another story with more detail. Yesterday was a long day. In the morning, I had to wake up early for a meeting. Then, in the afternoon, I met my cousin for coffee. In the evening, I finally relaxed and watched a movie. It was busy, but I enjoyed it. Now you repeat after me. Yesterday was a long day. In the morning, I had to wake up early for a meeting. Then, in the afternoon, I met my cousin for coffee. In the evening, I finally relaxed and watched a movie. It was busy, but I enjoyed it. Perfect. Step by step, your sentences are getting longer and smoother. Now, let's practice asking and answering together. I will ask you questions, and you try to give extended answers. Ready? What did you do last weekend? You answer. I went shopping with my friend. We bought some clothes and then had lunch together. Did you watch any movies recently? You answer. Yes, I watched a funny comedy. It was so hilarious that I couldn't stop laughing. Where do you usually go to relax? You answer. I usually go to the park near my house. It's quiet, and I enjoy walking there. Excellent. Extended answers with small details are the key to sounding fluent. Now, let's talk about transition words. Transition words help you speak in longer turns. For example, first, then, after that, finally. These words make your story clear and easy to follow. Let's practice. Repeat after me. First, I woke up early. Then, I went to the gym. After that, I had breakfast. Finally, I started work. Great. Now let's put them into a short story. Repeat after me. First, I went to the supermarket. Then, I bought some fruit. After that, I cooked dinner. Finally, I watched TV and went to bed. Excellent. See how transitions make the story clear. Another useful set of words are opinion phrases. For example, I think, in my opinion, honestly, to be honest, I guess. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I think this movie is amazing. In my opinion, the book is better than the movie. Honestly, I don't really like spicy food. To be honest, I'm not good at math. I guess it's going to rain today. Perfect. These opinion phrases make your English sound more natural and personal. Now, let's combine everything into a mini dialogue. Listen carefully. Hey, how was your weekend? B. It was good. First, I met my cousin for lunch. Then, we went shopping together. After that, we watched a movie. Honestly, it was a fun day. That sounds great. What movie did you watch? B. We watched a comedy. It was hilarious. I couldn't stop laughing. Now, let's shadow it together. Excellent. Before we finish part 5, let's do one more fluency exercise. Repeat after me. Last week was busy. First, I had a lot of work to finish. Then, I had to prepare for a test. After that, I helped my friend move to a new apartment. Honestly, I was so tired. But in the end, I felt really good because I finished everything. Fantastic. This exercise used transitions, storytelling, opinions, and extended answers. So, in part 5, you practiced asking questions, clarifying, active listening, storytelling, transition words, and opinion phrases. These tools are powerful for keeping conversations alive and making your English sound fluent. Remember, fluency is not about speaking fast. It is about speaking smoothly, clearly, and confidently. Welcome back. You are doing so well. In part 5, you practiced asking questions, clarifying, active listening, and storytelling with transitions. Now, in part 6, we are going to work on making comparisons, giving reasons, expressing preferences, and practicing agreement and disagreement. These are all important parts of natural English conversation. Let's begin with comparisons. Native speakers often compare things to express opinions. They use words like bigger, smaller, better, worse, more, less, and than. For example, my city is bigger than yours. This movie is better than the book. Today is hotter than yesterday. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. My phone is newer than my old one. This restaurant is cheaper than the other one. My English is better now than last year. Excellent. Now, let's practice with as. For example, she's as tall as her brother. This test is as easy as the last one. Repeat after me. This class is as interesting as the other one. My bag is as heavy as yours. Perfect. Comparisons help you give more details in conversations. Now, let's move to giving reasons. Native speakers don't just say their opinion. They explain why. They use phrases like because, The reason is, that's why, since. For example, I like this cafe because the coffee is really good. The reason I'm late is that the bus broke down. I stayed home because it was raining. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I enjoy English because it helps me travel. I stayed up late because I had homework. The reason I'm happy is I passed my exam. That's why I need more time. Excellent. Giving reasons makes your speaking longer and clearer. Now, let's talk about preferences. A preference means what you like more. Native speakers use words like prefer, would rather, or simple phrases like I like A more than B. For example, I prefer tea to coffee. I'd rather stay home than go out. I like action movies more than romantic movies. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I prefer reading to watching TV. I'd rather go for a walk than stay inside. I like summer more than winter. Great. Now let's use preferences in a short dialogue. Listen. Do you like coffee or tea? B. I prefer tea because it's lighter. Would you rather eat out or cook at home? B. I'd rather cook at home. It's healthier. Now shadow it with me. Excellent. Next, let's practice agreeing and disagreeing. In real life, you won't always have the same opinion. That's normal. But you need natural phrases. For agreeing, I agree. That's true. Exactly. You're right. For disagreeing politely, I see your point, but I'm not sure about that. I don't really agree. Maybe, but I think. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I agree. That's true. Exactly. You're right. I see your point, but I prefer the other option. I'm not sure about that. I don't really agree. Maybe, but I think it's different. Perfect. These short phrases make your English sound natural and polite. Now, let's do a mini dialogue with agreement and disagreement. Listen carefully. I think summer is better than winter. B. Yee. That's true. It's warmer. But winter is fun too, because of the snow. B. I see your point, but I still prefer summer. Now, repeat it with me. Excellent. Another important skill is giving longer answers in discussions. You can combine comparisons, reasons, and preferences. For example, I prefer the city to the countryside because there are more things to do. The city is busier, but I like that energy. On the other hand, the countryside is peaceful, but sometimes it feels boring. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I prefer movies to books because I enjoy watching stories on screen. I like the morning more than the evening because I feel more productive. I'd rather travel by plane than by bus because it's faster. Excellent. Now, let's practice a longer dialogue with comparisons, preferences, and reasons. Listen. Do you prefer dogs or cats? B. I like dogs more because they are friendly. Yeah. That's true, but cats are easier to take care of. B. I see your point, but I still prefer dogs. They're more active. Now shadow it with me. Great. Before we finish part 6, let's practice a fluency story using everything. Repeat after me. I'd rather live in the city than in the countryside because there are more opportunities. The city is noisier, but it's also more exciting. On the other hand, the countryside is peaceful, and that's nice sometimes. Honestly, both have good sides, but I prefer the city overall. Fantastic. That was a long, natural answer with comparisons, reasons, and preferences. So, in part 6, you practiced comparisons, giving reasons, expressing preferences, and agreeing or disagreeing. These are very important skills for real conversations. Remember, Fluency is not just about vocabulary. It's about expressing your opinions clearly, giving reasons, and responding naturally to others. You've already done so well in the first 6 parts. You've practiced greetings, phrasal verbs, idioms, comparisons, preferences, and more. Now in part 7, we're going to focus on talking about the future, making plans, giving suggestions, and inviting people. These are very common in daily conversations and will make your English much more practical and useful. Let's begin with the future. Native speakers often use different ways to talk about the future. They don't just use will, they also use going to and present continuous. Let's look at some examples. I will call you later. A decision at the moment. I'm going to visit my parents this weekend. A plan. I'm meeting Sarah tomorrow. A scheduled event. Now let's practice together. Repeat after me. I'll text you tonight. I'm going to buy a new phone. I'm meeting my friend for lunch tomorrow. Excellent. Notice how natural these sound. Next, let's practice making plans. Native speakers often ask questions like, "What are you doing this weekend? Do you want to hang out later? Are you free tomorrow?" And they answer naturally with phrases like, "I'm not sure yet. I might stay home. I'm going to the mall." Sounds good. Let's role play. I'll ask, "What are you doing this weekend?" You answer, "I'm going to visit my cousin." Good. Now I ask, "Do you want to hang out later?" You answer, "Sure." Sounds good. Excellent. Now, let's practice giving suggestions. Suggestions are very common in English, and there are many natural phrases for them. For example, let's, how about, why don't we, maybe we could. Let's practice. Repeat after me. Let's go to the park. How about watching a movie? Why don't we order pizza? Maybe we could study together. Perfect. These short sentences are exactly how natives suggest ideas. Now let's practice invitations. When you invite someone, you can say, "Do you want to come over? Would you like to join us? Are you free to grab dinner? How about coming to the party?" And to accept, you can say, "Sure, I'd love to. Sounds great. Yeah. Count me in." To refuse politely, you can say, "I'd love to, but I can't. Maybe next time. Sorry, I'm busy that day." Let's practice. Repeat after me. Do you want to come over? Would you like to join us? Are you free to grab dinner? How about coming to the party? Now practice the answers. Sure. I'd love to. Sounds great. Yeah. Count me in. I'd love to, but I can't. Maybe next time. Excellent. Let's put this into a short dialogue. Listen carefully. Hey, are you free tomorrow night? B. Maybe. Why? A. How about going to the new restaurant downtown? B. Sounds great. What time? Let's go around 7. B. Perfect. See you then. Now shadow it with me, line by line. Excellent. Next, let's practice responding to suggestions. You don't always need to say yes. Here are some natural responses. Accepting. That's a great idea. Sure. Let's do it. Refusing politely. I'm not really in the mood. Maybe another time. I'd rather not. Let's practice together. Repeat after me. That's a great idea. Sure. Let's do it. I'm not really in the mood. Maybe another time. I'd rather not. Perfect. Now, let's practice longer role plays about making plans. Listen first. What are you doing this weekend? B. Not much. Why? Why don't we go to the beach? B. I'd love to, but I'm busy on Saturday. Okay. How about Sunday? B. Sunday works. Let's do it. Now shadow it with me, line by line. Excellent. Another example. Do you want to watch a movie tonight? B. Maybe. Which one? How about the new action film? B. I'm not really into action. Maybe a comedy instead. Sure, that works. Let's check the times. Now shadow that one too. Excellent. Before we finish part 7, let's practice a longer fluency exercise. Repeat after me. This weekend, I'm going to visit my parents. On Saturday, I'm having lunch with my cousin. On Sunday, I might go shopping. Actually, I'd love to hang out too. So maybe we can meet in the evening. How about going to a cafe? Sounds good. Right. Fantastic. That's a natural way to talk about plans, invitations, and suggestions. So, in part 7, you practiced future talk, making plans, giving suggestions, inviting people, and responding naturally. These are skills you will use almost every day in English. Remember, fluency is not just about speaking quickly. It's about communicating clearly, making plans smoothly, and responding politely and naturally. You've made excellent progress. In part 7, you practiced future talk, making plans, giving suggestions, and invitations. Now in part 8, we are going to focus on problem-solving conversations. You will learn how to make requests, offer help, give advice, and handle everyday situations in English. These are the kinds of conversations that happen in real life all the time. Let's start with making requests. A request is when you ask someone to do something for you. Native speakers often use polite forms like, can you, could you, would you mind, do you think you could? For example, can you help me with this bag? Could you open the window? Would you mind passing me the salt? Do you think you could explain that again? Let's practice. Repeat after me. Can you help me with my homework? Could you take a picture for us? Would you mind closing the door? Do you think you could call me later? Excellent. These polite requests sound natural and friendly. Now, let's talk about offering help. Native speakers often say, do you need any help? Can I give you a hand? Let me help you with that. Do you want me to? For example, do you need any help with your bags? Can I give you a hand with that box? Let me help you carry this. Do you want me to call a taxi? Let's practice. Repeat after me. Do you need any help? Can I give you a hand? Let me help you with that. Do you want me to explain? Excellent. Offering help makes your English warm and polite. Now, let's practice giving advice. Advice means telling someone what you think they should do. Native speakers use phrases like, you should, maybe you could, if I were you, I would, why don't you? For example, you should take a rest. Maybe you could talk to your teacher. If I were you, I would start studying earlier. Why don't you join the gym? Let's practice. Repeat after me. You should get some sleep. Maybe you could call her. If I were you, I'd try again. Why don't you take a break? Perfect. These advice phrases are very common in everyday conversations. Now, let's combine requests, offers, and advice in short dialogues. Listen carefully. Dialogue 1. Can you help me with this project? B. Sure, no problem. Do you want me to check your grammar? Yes, that would be great. Thanks. Dialogue 2. I'm really stressed about the test tomorrow. B. Maybe you could take a short walk to relax. A. Good idea. Thanks for the advice. Dialogue 3. This bag is so heavy. B. Let me help you with that. Thanks a lot. That's very kind. Now shadow each dialogue with me, line by line. Excellent. Next, let's practice problem solving in daily life. For example, imagine you are in a restaurant and something is wrong with your food. You could say, "Excuse me, could you change this? Please. Sorry, I ordered chicken, not beef. Would you mind bringing me some water?" Let's practice. Repeat after me. Excuse me, could you change this? Please. Sorry, I ordered chicken, not beef. Would you mind bringing me some water? Excellent. These sentences are polite and natural. Now imagine you are lost and need help with directions. You could say, "Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the train station? Could you show me on the map? Is it far from here?" Let's practice. Repeat after me. Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to the train station? Could you show me on the map? Is it far from here? Perfect. These are very practical sentences for travel. Now, let's practice giving advice in real-life problems. For example, I can't sleep at night. B. You should stop drinking coffee late in the day. Another example. I want to improve my English. B. If I were you, I'd practice speaking every day. One more. I'm nervous about my job interview. B. Why don't you practice answering common questions? Now shadow them with me. Excellent. Before we finish part 8, let's practice a longer fluency exercise that includes requests, offers, and advice. Repeat after me. Yesterday, I was really busy with work. My friend called and said, "Do you want me to help you with the report?" I said, "Sure, that would be great." Later, I felt very tired, and my mom told me, "You should go to bed early." Honestly, she was right. I slept well and felt much better today. Excellent. That was a natural story with requests, offers, and advice. So, in part 8, you practiced making polite requests, offering help, giving advice, and solving everyday problems. These are the conversations that happen all the time in English. Remember, fluency is not only about vocabulary, it is about using the right expressions for the right situation. Step by step, you are learning to handle real-life conversations just like a native speaker. Now, in part 9, we're going to focus on giving opinions, agreeing and disagreeing in discussions, debating politely, and expressing feelings. These are important when you want to sound natural in conversations, especially in group discussions or when you share your personal ideas. Let's start with giving opinions. Native speakers often use natural phrases like, "I think," "in my opinion," "honestly," "as far as I know," "from my point of view." Let's practice. Repeat after me. I think learning English is fun. In my opinion, pizza is the best food. Honestly, I don't really like horror movies. As far as I know, he's on vacation. From my point of view, studying abroad is a great idea. Excellent. These are easy but powerful ways to share your thoughts. Now, let's practice agreeing with someone's opinion. Here are some natural phrases. I totally agree. That's so true. Exactly. I feel the same way. You're right. Repeat after me. I totally agree. That's so true. Exactly. I feel the same way. You're right. Great. Now, let's practice polite disagreement. Remember, disagreeing doesn't have to sound rude. You can make it soft with these phrases. I see your point, but I'm not sure about that. I don't really agree. Maybe, but I think. That's interesting. But my opinion is different. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I see your point, but I think it's different. I'm not sure about that. I don't really agree. Maybe, but I think summer is better. That's interesting. But my opinion is different. Perfect. These polite forms make discussions friendly. Now, let's practice expressing feelings. This is very important because emotions make your English alive. Native speakers often use simple but powerful phrases. I'm really happy about that. I was so surprised. That makes me sad. I'm excited. I feel nervous. Let's practice. Repeat after me. I'm really happy about that. I was so surprised. That makes me sad. I'm excited. I feel nervous. Excellent. Now, let's put opinions, agreement, and feelings into a short dialogue. Listen. I think the new movie is amazing. B. Really? I'm not sure about that. Honestly, I feel it was too long. A. Yeah. Maybe. But the acting was great. B. That's true. The actors were really good. Now shadow it with me, line by line. Excellent. Let's practice another example with feelings. I'm so excited about the concert. B. Me too. I can't wait. I think it will be the best concert of the year. B. Exactly. I totally agree. Now shadow that one too. Perfect. Next, let's practice a group discussion style. Imagine 3 friends talking. Listen. In my opinion, studying online is better than going to class. B. I see your point, but I prefer going to class. It feels more real. Easy? Honestly, I like both. Online is convenient, but class is more fun. Now, repeat it with me. Excellent. Another group discussion. What do you think about fast food? B. I think it's tasty, but not healthy. C. Yeah, that's true. I totally agree. Maybe, but sometimes it's the only quick option. Now shadow that conversation. Excellent. Let's practice longer turns with opinions and reasons. Repeat after me. In my opinion, reading books is better than watching TV because it helps me imagine more. Honestly, I feel more relaxed when I read. On the other hand, TV is fun too, but books are my favorite. Excellent. That was a longer, natural answer. Now, let's practice polite debate. Listen first. I think city life is better. B. That's interesting. But I don't really agree. I prefer the countryside. Why? B. Because it's quieter and less stressful. I see your point. But the city has more opportunities. Now shadow it with me. Excellent. Before we finish part 9, let's do one more fluency exercise, combining opinions, agreement, disagreement, and feelings. Repeat after me. Honestly, I think learning English is exciting. Sometimes it's difficult, but that's normal. In my opinion, practicing every day is the key. Some people say grammar is the most important, but I don't really agree. I feel speaking and listening are just as important. That's why I practice conversations like this every day. Fantastic. That was a long, fluent paragraph with opinions, feelings, and polite disagreement. So, in part 9, you practice giving opinions, agreeing, disagreeing politely, expressing feelings, and even group discussion style. These skills are very important for natural, real conversations. Remember, fluency is not only about words, it's about expressing your thoughts and feelings clearly and respectfully. Congratulations! You've made it all the way here. From part 1 until now, you have practiced greetings, contractions, idioms, phrasal verbs, comparisons, suggestions, advice, opinions, and so much more. Now in part 10, we are going to bring everything together. We will practice advanced storytelling, daily routines, motivation, and fluency drills. This is where you show yourself how much you have grown. Let's begin with advanced storytelling. Storytelling is not only about what happened, but also about how you felt, what you thought, and what you learned. Adding emotions and details makes your story alive. Listen first. So, last weekend, I went hiking with my friends. At first, it was really difficult because the trail was steep. Honestly, I felt tired and wanted to stop. But my friend encouraged me, and we kept going. Finally, when we reached the top, the view was amazing. I felt so proud of myself, and it reminded me that sometimes we need to push through challenges to see something beautiful. Now, repeat after me, sentence by sentence. So, last weekend, I went hiking with my friends. At first, it was really difficult because the trail was steep. Honestly, I felt tired and wanted to stop, but my friend encouraged me, and we kept going. Finally, when we reached the top, the view was amazing. I felt so proud of myself, and it reminded me that sometimes we need to push through challenges to see something beautiful. Excellent. That's a complete, emotional story. Now, let's practice telling daily routines. Daily routines are a great way to practice fluency because they happen every day. So you always have something to say. Here's an example. Every morning, I wake up at 7 a.m. First, I brush my teeth and take a shower. Then, I have breakfast, usually some bread and coffee. After that, I start work or study. In the afternoon, I often take a short walk. In the evening, I cook dinner, watch a little TV, and then go to bed around 11. Now, repeat after me in parts. Every morning, I wake up at 7 a.m. First, I brush my teeth and take a shower. Then, I have breakfast, usually some bread and coffee. After that, I start work or study. In the afternoon, I often take a short walk. In the evening, I cook dinner, watch a little TV, and then go to bed around 11. Perfect. That's a simple but fluent way to describe your day. Now, let's practice more natural transitions for storytelling. Instead of just saying, and you can use after that, later on, finally, in the end. Let's practice. Repeat after me. After that, we went to the park. Later on, I met my cousin. Finally, we had dinner together. In the end, it was a great day. Excellent. These transitions make your stories smooth. Next, let's talk about motivation. Learning English takes time, but remember, every step you take brings you closer to fluency. Native speakers are not perfect either. They make mistakes. They forget words. They use filler words. That's normal. So don't be afraid to speak. Just open your mouth and try. Here are some motivational phrases you can say to yourself. I can do this. Every day. I'm improving. Mistakes help me learn. Step by step, I'm getting better. Now, repeat after me. I can do this. Every day, I'm improving. Mistakes help me learn. Step by step, I'm getting better. Excellent. These positive words will keep you confident. Now, let's do a long fluency practice with everything combined. Listen first. Yesterday was a busy day, but also a good one. In the morning, I had an online class. Honestly, I was a little tired, but I learned some new vocabulary. After that, I went to the supermarket and picked up some fruit. Later on, I met my cousin for lunch. We talked about movies, and I told him my opinion. I think comedies are better than action films because they make me feel happy. He didn't really agree, but that's okay. In the evening, I cooked dinner, watched TV, and finally went to bed early. In the end, it was a productive day. Now, repeat it with me slowly, and then try again faster. Excellent! Another fluency drill. Last month, I started a new habit. Every day, I listen to an English podcast for 15 minutes. Sometimes I don't understand everything, But that's fine. I just keep listening, and little by little, I understand more. Honestly, I feel more confident now. I believe if I continue, my English will become natural. That's why I keep practicing. Now shadow that with me. Perfect. Finally, let's practice a motivational dialogue. Listen. I feel nervous about speaking English. B. Don't worry. You're doing great. But I make mistakes. B. Mistakes help you learn. Step by step, you're improving. You're right. I can do this. B. Exactly. Keep going. You're becoming fluent. Now, shadow it line by line. Excellent. Before we close this series, let's remember, fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being natural, confident, and willing to connect with people. You already have the tools: greetings, phrasal verbs, idioms, storytelling, opinions, requests, and so much more. Use them in real conversations every day. The more you practice, the more fluent you will become. So, in part 10, you practiced advanced storytelling, daily routines, transitions, motivation, and long fluency drills. This is the final piece of your journey in this series. But it's not the end. Keep practicing. Keep speaking. Keep believing in yourself. English fluency is possible, and you are already on the way. Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep practicing. Stay confident, and remember, you can speak English like a native speaker. I'll see you in the next lesson.